I don't know, top three things. I gotta put that together. What are the top three things to consider?
Yeah, like number one,
Well, I tell everybody what is an explanation. The rates. The rates are something to consider because everybody's talking about them, and then we'll talk about here's how we accommodate the rates, the buy down programs. This is what's happening. We know that the Fed's not going to keep them high. We anticipate they're going to go down. We're just not sure when. So when you're looking at a home, consider what rate and what payment. If the buy down gets you to where you want to be, odds are you know everybody's saying that you'll probably be able to refinance to that within before the 2 years is up. You'll probably see that rate as a standard.
all right, Mac, we are live. I apologize. I actually clicked the button. I thought I was going to set up the live stream, but here we are. So, hey, I'm Artemis Prime with the Austin City Brothers. I'm joined today with Mac McChesney from Success Lending. And thank you so much for being here, Mac. I really appreciate you. Mac is one of our top loan officers. How many years have you been in business?
7.
7 years in the business. So he is a first degree black belt in lending, getting his second degree in the next 3 years because it takes 5 years to get a black belt. And for those of you who don't know me, I was actually a martial artist for 4 years in Dallas, Texas. And now I'm a realtor. I lead the Freedom Team and we're the Austin City Brothers. And so today we're going to be asking 3 questions. Are you thinking about buying a home? That's question number 1. Number 2, what are the top 3 things to consider before investing in your home? And number 3, where are the rates going and can I still save money in today's market? And this is just a real brief introduction for all of you watching. And we thank you for tuning in as well. And let me see if I can go to Restream here and there we go. Okay, I can see it live over here. Excellent. So I've got a lot of technology today. I am on Zoom and Zoom is streaming on 8 channels live. So thank you for being here, for watching. Thank you for watching the replay. We value you. At the Austin City Brothers, we are here to bring wealth to your home, wealth to your family, wealth to your legacy. We see real estate as one of the most significant decisions you're going to make in your life. And when you invest with us as the Austin City Brothers and with Success Lending and with Mac, we are here to bring that wealth into your life and bring the wealth into your mind. Wealth is not just like what's in our bank account. Wealth encompasses all aspects, our mind, our home, our family, and our legacy. And this is why we do what we do at the Austin City Brothers and through real estate. So we love what we do. Mac, thank you for being here. So
absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So tell me what's going on right now in the markets? What are you seeing right now as a loan officer? What are the common questions you're getting asked right now in this market today?
The number one question I get: what are the rates and when are they going down? What's going on with the rates? That's the biggest one. We've seen a lot of swing over last year in the quarters with the rates were jumping and going out of control, and basically we were all losing our minds. However, the good news is they've kind of leveled off. They're not climbing up anymore. We got some loan level pricing adjustments recently, which added a little bit, but I'm writing loans in the, averaging. I've got some 5s, some 6s in regard to government and conventional, so that they're stabling off a little bit, which is still much higher than we were used to, but it's better for all of us. So that's good news. And in addition, there was NAR posted some information on January that the housing market was up. So prices have adjusted a little bit. The rates are coming down. We're getting back to a level market. So I think it's very positive. It's very exciting that we're not seeing that craziness. So the rates are number 1, and then home values. I'd say that's number 2. Where's my house out? What's it worth? We all saw a super big spike for a little while. Those have come down a little bit as well. So we're seeing more of a buyer's market, which is very exciting for all of us in the industry and the country. More inventory.
Particularly Austin was like a hyper inflated market because of high demand, low supply for 2 years. So now we've seen prices drop in Austin, Round Rock by about 5 to 6%. And so we've seen a price correction and a leveling off of prices in the Austin area. We're still in a seller's market in many areas of Central Texas, but generally the prices have leveled off, which means that now houses are stabilizing, loan interest rates are stabilizing. So for the people watching that are maybe first-time home buyers, let's talk about FHA loan, conventional loan, ARM loans. These are would you say those are the 3 basic kind of loan products?
Definitely.
Yes, you have like
Definitely. FHA's made some adjustments too, which are really, really good. The challenge that we had was the FHA is going to give you a much higher debt to income ratio. So for folks coming straight out of college or that first time buyer market, debt to income ratio is a really big factor. So it's a little higher. The government loans are also going to have more aggressive rates than the conventional. And that's really good news. But the challenge was the loan limits are by county. And those were a lot of times in that low 300 to mid 300 range. Well, that's up now. So your floor, I believe, is 484,000. So that gives those first-time buyers a lot more opportunity to get approved with a debt-to-income ratio, with a more aggressive rate, and with the housing increase in prices, they have a lot more inventory that they can look at. So they've got.
I love that. I love that. So, like, for those of you watching, reach out to me or Mac. And Mac, how do we get a hold of you? Like, what's the easy way to contact you?
Email, or you can call me 512-842 if you want to put it in the chat, or my email at Mac McChesney at Success Lending.
Yeah, let's write that number down. So I got a whiteboard here. Okay. So,
I love it. Back to the whiteboard. Can't go wrong.
512
842 7707.
7707. Yeah. So reach out to Mac if you have questions about your loan. He'll be happy to help you.
Or just anything in the market. You need any help, Artemis, we have a huge team of people and resources. So if you've got a question, anything real estate related, we are definitely going to find an answer for you if we don't have it, and put you in contact with the right people.
Yeah. This is the time for you to really bring wealth, abundance, prosperity into your life. Get your questions answered, because like one of the things that holds people back is confusion and a lack of certainty. And when you know your numbers, you have certainty. And so like if you need FHA, if you need a conventional, if you're looking at ARM and you want to get clear on those numbers, then get with Matt, get clarity, get certainty. And so let's talk about the top 3 things to consider before investing in your home. So like, what are those 3 things that our buyers should consider, whether they're first-time home buyer or buying a second home or buying, or selling and then buying, like what are generally the 3 things that we need to think about?
Well, we already went over rates. Rates are going to affect your, the amount of the house you can buy. But that one we know is going to take care of itself. Location is always important, but I like to think about proximity to where you're going to live. What's your commute going to be like? Are you going to be able to have an area that you can get all the benefits of the city and you want to be in the city, or are you okay living outside the city? So that location is important. And I speak primarily from the Texas market because we've got so much new development expanding. So it really comes down to what's the proximity of drive time, congestion, where you're at. So your balance of work life. That's really one of the biggest things that I look at. And then the growth of your area. I mean, what's going to happen in your area? Is it projected to be a big industrial growth or pet growth? And the reason I say that is because what's the purpose of the home? That's really the question. Is this your forever home, or is this a starter home, or is it an investment home? So identifying what your purposes are in that house, I would say is the next biggest thing.
Yeah. So like if it's your first home, you're going to do one loan product. If it's your forever home, you might do a slightly different loan product. And if it's just a second home, an investment, like I've got a buyer looking at a condo downtown in Nativo, which is a short-term rental and residential hybrid. And so he could do it's an investment for him. It's going to be his second home too. He's going to live there part-time of the year, but he would do a different loan product for that. He might do like a 5-year ARM or 7-year ARM or something like that. So like get really clear on like where you're going to live, what's the intention of the home, and then contact Mac and connect the right structured loan so you can save time and money and really get educated on that.
One thing I want to add there to that in regard to loan products is we've seen a real expansion in some of the self-employed products. So if you are a self-employed borrower and have issues, so to speak, with your taxes in regard to qualifying, there are programs out there now, bank statement programs, debt service programs, P&L programs, 1-year tax returns. Those are something for self-employed borrowers to really think about, where they may not have been able to qualify in years past. Those products are all back now. They're back in full force.
Yeah, that's awesome. Next time we do a live stream together, let's focus on first-time home buyers and self-employed, because those are 2 niches. Let's educate those 2 people, because that'll help. There's a lot of self-employed people here in Austin that probably don't know that. And so I think that's really, really good. So here we are in 2023. where are we going in the next like 6 months? Like, is now a good time to buy, or should we wait, or should that's probably the question going on in a lot of buyers' minds.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, especially with a lot of the uncertainty that we've had and the media scaring everybody.
By the way, guys, don't believe the national media, because it's not what's happening in our local market. Yeah. Like, can you speak to that?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. The wheels are off. Everything's falling apart. The market's crashing. We heard all of this horrible stuff. The rates are going to drive you insane. Well, we've seen some of that, and there's stuff to be paid attention to. But in the growth area that we have, and I'm sure a lot of folks have, the housing index coming down, the rates coming back. We've seen a jump over the last 2 months in applications. I mean, I doubled my applications this month that I had, in February that I had in January, and I've already started this month with as many applications essentially as I had in February. So the business is back. It's growing again. So to answer your question, yes, I think now's a great time to buy a house, because there's a phrase that I always use, and it's that you marry your house and you date the interest rate. So you're going to find housing prices have gotten a little more aggressive right now. Do I think we're going to see 10 and 20% reduction in housing costs? No, and nobody's saying that. That no one's saying that. We've probably seen that leveling off now, and what will happen? They'll start to increase again over time, as they always do. So
now it depends on which market you're in, because every real estate market has its own what would I say, life of its own, like every market's different, but in Central Texas, because we have such a boom of capital infrastructure, Apple, Oracle, Tesla, Samsung, board, we're experiencing a leveling of the market for the rest of the year. Like Mac said, in our Central Texas area, you're not going to see prices dropping 10, 15%. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. And so it's
a great time. I think it's a great time, because
it's a good time. It's a good time to buy. And, resale versus new construction. I want to address that, and I know new construction builders do a lot of their own loans, but with resale properties, and then, by the way, if you're watching this, 70% of buyers buy resale homes. Only 30% of buyers buy new construction. So like, if you're with resale homes, I'm a licensed realtor here in Austin, Texas, and I educate my buyers versus new construction versus resale. And with resale homes, you're going to get more home. You're going to get more square footage. You might even get a better location, and sometimes even better quality, because the building costs have gone up 30% in the past 2 years. Did you know that, Mac?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got to stop my video for 1 second, Ernest. I'm not going anywhere. Keep it up.
Okay. So building costs have gone up 30% in the past 2 years. And so what we're looking at with the resale option is that you can get more square footage, more size for your money, and sometimes larger lots, more value overall. There are some benefits of new construction, but because we're moving into a buyer's market, there's certain areas of Central Texas where we have 4 or 5 months of inventory. When we get to 6 months, that's technically a buyer's market. But right now, in some areas, we're hovering between 4 and 5 months, which means you watching this as a home buyer, you have negotiating power. So if you have a good realtor like me or Murshad with Austin City Brothers, we can negotiate rate buy downs. We can negotiate closing costs in your favor. So speak to that, that negotiating power buyers have with the rate buy downs, and what does a rate buy down do for them?
Well, it's a fantastic question. What the rate buy down does is, let's say that I have a borrower who's qualifying right now at a 6.5% rate. And the payments, where they can take it, but they like to see it a little bit lower and take advantage. You can do up to 3 or 2 year buy downs. So the benefit of having Artemis, where these guys go in, they negotiate the seller covering the cost of the payment buy down. And let's say it's a 2-1. That means for the first year, you're going to be at a 4.5% interest rate, making the payment at 4.5, or making the payment at a 4.5% rate. It's not a variable rate that's going to happen. You're just going to have the first payments bought down, so that you're still at 6.9, but the payment's been paid at a 4.5 rate. I'm sorry, 4.5. And then the next year's 5.5. And then it hits the 6.5 on that third year. However, the big benefit is, over the next 2 quarters or so, if rates drop, which people are anticipating they're going to come back down a little bit more, you can refi with no prepayment penalty. So then you can lock in that lower rate, but it gives you the opportunity to have the lower payment for that 2-year period. So that's very, very, very powerful. That's probably the most popular thing that we're doing right now, is those buy downs.
I gotta use my whiteboard here. Hold on.
Get the board.
We gotta get these numbers out here. So we'll get your number right now. So you can start at 6.5.
Yep.
Percent. You can do a rate buy down for the first year at 4 or 5%.
So it's called a 2-1. It's called it. We're going to do a 2-1. Yep.
So that's year one of the loan.
Yep.
So year one, you're not paying 6.5, you're paying 4.5%.
You're paying, well, the rate is still 6.5, but the buy down has moved your payment to the equivalent of a 4.5.
Right.
So you're paying.
So that could be $1,000 off your mortgage.
It can be a good amount depending on the amount of your loan. Absolutely.
Yeah, that could be up to $1,000 down on your mortgage. And then so year two, it goes to 5.5.
Your payment at 5.5. That's correct.
And then year three is when it goes back to 6.5. But
your effective payment. Yeah. The original thing.
Within these 2 years, you can refinance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
really
what's
very important. If you're not going to be in a place for very long and you're purchasing it for, like I said, the purpose. What are you getting the home for? It's not your forever home. Maybe you're going to be there for a year or two. This is a fabulous program to go on because you're like, yeah, I'm just going to take that lower payment. I don't even know that I'm going to be there that long. And if I do get a lower rate, then I just refinance.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of like break that down, like year one, year two, but within this 2-year cycle of these lower interest rates, what you're paying on, you're still locked in at 6.5, but you're paying on these.
Correct.
Rates. Within those 2 years, you're going to be able to refinance because guess what, guys? What goes up must come down. What goes down will go up. And so everything is cycles. And so like what our viewers need, you know, at the Austin City Brothers, they just need education. They just need to understand like how do rates work? How do rate buy downs work? You know, is it a good time to buy? Can I negotiate a rate buy down and closing costs? And yes, you can in this market because houses are sitting on the market 90 days. I mean, there are condos downtown that have been sitting on the market 6 months and haven't sold, you know, so there's for those of you watching, there's a lot of negotiating power. So reach out to Mac for clarity on your numbers, reach out to me to understand the power you have in negotiations. And we're going to be showing up probably every couple of weeks for 10 minutes. I'd like to do this regularly, Mac, with our audience.
Absolutely.
And then you can share this content off with your audience as well. So give me
next time I'd love to talk about how people can buy, what they can buy, and when they can buy. Those are 3 important factors that people want to know too. How much can I buy? How do I find out what I qualify for? Those kind of things are very important, especially to that first time buyer market.
Give me your number again, 512-842.
7707.
7707. Okay, so we are 7707. I like that. That's 3 sevens. That's beautiful.
Pretty good.
512-842-7707. Reach out to Mac. I love this man. I love his heart. He actually cares about people. He does a great job. He's got a team around him. He has a lot of systems and processes to make sure that you get your questions answered before you ask them. And, you know, we are committed in our partnership to give you such exceptional value in your real estate transaction that you will love our work so much that you won't want to work with anyone ever again. And that's our commitment to you. And, you know, that makes my heart sing is that when we have people that surround us that actually care about us, our loan, the process, making sure that there's exceptional value. And, you know, at the Austin City Brothers, we provide that exceptional value. And we also have a team of transaction coordinators, virtual assistants. We have a media agency. We have a marketing agency that does omnichannel marketing. And so we're here to support you and cover you in your transaction. So Mac, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And so the next one we can do is like, how much can I buy? What was the second question?
How do I qualify? How much? How do I qualify? And what are the steps in the process? I think that we should talk about that from the time they go under contract or the application to the closing. What does that look like? Because that's scary for a lot of people. They don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So just tell them all of that's very important. So they don't get surprised in the middle because surprises they're not good in our business.
Yeah. So like, once again, what Mac is giving us is clarity and certainty. And that's the 2 most important things you need to have before you invest in your home. Or if you're getting an investment property, or if you're buying a second home, like wherever you are in your journey, clarity and certainty. And that's what we're here to give you. So thank you for being here, Mac. We're going to wrap this. We're going to wrap this up. I'll end the live stream and then we can jump back on a Zoom call, a short Zoom call after that and plan the next one. Thank you all for watching today. Mac McChesney from Success Lending, Artemis Prime here from the Austin City Brothers, and we'll see you in the next huddle. Bye for now.